Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. And welcome to a Sunday stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, whatever day it is. I hope that the weekend has been treating you well, and welcome once again to the Bezos TV, where we will once again be getting into some stompy, hot mech-on-mech action, and of course, the requisite bullying of clanners and taking their stuff. But of course, before we get into all of that, good to see you, glad to have you, glad to have another week out of the way. And chat, oh my goodness, I'm going to tell you all about that. But glad to see you guys, glad to see the turnout. Thanks for joining me once again. And man, chat, okay, here we go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So today was not, well, okay, today is great. Today is great. This week was not a good week. It was a terrible week. And I'm gonna tell you why. So way back during the Thanksgiving holiday break, everybody asked me, oh, when are you taking PTO? When are you going to take off for Thanksgiving? All this and that. And I told everybody, I was like, don't worry about it. Just take your time. Like, I don't take PTO during Thanksgiving. I always take my PTO during Christmas. So, like, y'all just do whatever, take whatever time, and I'll be the one that gets to draw the short straw and cover for everybody so that they can take their PTO during Thanksgiving. And that's exactly what happened. So everybody took their friggin' PTO right around Thanksgiving, and I got stuck basically covering everybody's shifts so they could have PTO. And pretty much as soon as we got back from Thanksgiving, I put in my PTO for the Christmas holiday. And it was 2 weeks. So basic, and not to be confused with the 2 weeks from Total Recall, if you know, you know. But yeah, so I'm basically taking off all of next week and most of the week after. I'm actually going back to work on the 2nd. So that's so that I can go out and party with my friends on New Year's and get drunk and be stupid and then have a day to recover before I have to go back to work. But yeah, so I put in I put in for my PTO. And I let everybody know. I put it on everybody's calendar. I was like, hey, look, this is the time that I'm going to be out. And then within a day of that happening, suddenly everybody else starts putting in their PTO as well, except everybody put their PTO in for the week before Christmas. And of course, my boss, being the incompetent moron that he is, just went ahead and approved everybody's time without giving it a whole lot of thought. And what ended up happening was that basically we were going to be on like a skeleton crew well, okay, a skeleton crew as far as management is concerned. I am in management for those that are not already aware. But basically, it was going to be a skeleton crew for management, where it was basically just me and one other person. Now, typically, I have been working a mid-shift for a while, so I'm the gopher, I'm the problem solver, I'm the person who covers when people have to, leave early or come in late or take a day off or whatever. So I have been the gap filler for a while. That's what she said. Because of the way that the skeleton crew thing was going to work this entire week, basically, I was going to be opening all week, which means I have to go in, well, I have to be there at 6 a.m. But because I have other things in my life, like I get up, I work out, I take a shower, I make breakfast, I do all this other stuff before I go to work every day. So because of that, I'm basically going to be waking up at like 4 a.m. so that I can be at work by 6. And then the day before I was getting ready, like Monday, when I was getting ready to like get set for my work week, my boss calls me and is like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna need you to pull a double. And I was like, okay, when? Like, I was already unhappy about this, but I was like, when? And he's like, I need you to run a double this week. And I was like, you mean the whole fucking week? And he says, yeah, they have some issues at our sister location and they need some help with management. And so I'm going to send manager number 2, i.e., the only other manager that was going to be on staff this week, to cover the other half of the shifts with me. So they're sending that manager to our sister location. And then my boss, who would then, of course, be on the hook to fill in, is also going to that sister location this week in order to cover for their management issues. And I was like, so wait, how many people are left at our other location? And he was like, well, they have 3 managers there, but they need help. And I was like, okay, so wait, let me see if I've got this straight. They were going to have 3 managers this week. We were going to have 3 managers this week. And you, and your infinite fucking wisdom, decided to send 2/3 of our management staff to another location and leave me to pull a double every single day this week to cover everything. In other words, work from 6 a.m. until midnight, go home, get 2 hours of sleep, and then come home and do it all again the next day for 5 days straight. That was your fucking plan. And I was like, not only am I not going to work a double for you this week, I'm not going to work a double ever. I'm not working an 18-hour day for you. I don't give a shit how much you pay me. And so at this point, he doesn't know what to say because, of course, even though he and I have butted heads on shit like this before, he still, for some reason, thinks that he can just threaten my job anytime I don't do what he says. So he's like, well, if you don't, then I'm going to have to write you up. And I said, okay, hold on a second. And I turned the recording on my phone and I said, could you say that one more time for the recording, that you're going to write me up? You're going to reprimand me for refusing to work a double shift 5 days in a row, because I will be more than happy to take that to HR and my lawyer first thing tomorrow morning. And of course, he didn't have anything to say to that. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I can either open for you or I can close for you. I don't give a fuck which, but I'm only doing one or the other. You decide which is more important, and then it's up to you to figure out what to do for the rest of that time. Well, we'll have to talk about this tomorrow. I was like, what do you mean we'll have to talk about this tomorrow? I thought you were going to the other location. How are we going to talk about this tomorrow? You're not even going to be here.
Okay.
Well, I'll be there long enough to have this conversation with you. And I said, okay, just understand, I'm going to record every single word that you and I discuss together tomorrow. Just be aware of that. So next day rolls around. I go into work. He decides he wants me to work the closing shift. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll work the closing shift. I get in at 3 o'clock and he's not there. So I go to one of my counterparts who, like, there's another department that works in our building and they handle like transportation and logistics. And so I go to the logistics manager and I was like, hey, where's Dickface? And he's like, oh, he hasn't been here today. And I'm like, okay, so he's not here. So who's been running the building? And he's like, nobody. And at this point, I'm smiling a mile wide here. I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. This motherfucker didn't even bother to come in, and he didn't bother to schedule anybody to cover the morning shift. So I call him, and I'm like, waiting, waiting, waiting. He doesn't answer, goes to voicemail. I call him again, waiting, waiting, waiting. No answer, goes to voicemail. I call his boss, my boss's boss. Waiting, 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 goes to voicemail. I call my boss's boss again. He picks up on the second ring. What do you need? I said, out of curiosity, have you talked to Dickface at all today? No, I haven't talked to him. Why? Well, I just wanted you to know that I just got here at 3 o'clock today to run the closing shift, which, by the way, is not even my normal shift. I'm covering for somebody else who he decided to let have PTO. And when I got here, I was told by the logistics manager that nobody has been here running the facility at all today. And it's very, very possible that multiple employees have just walked out the door with merchandise and have probably done it multiple times over the course of the day because nobody was here to run shit. And also nothing has gotten done today as a direct result of that. And he says, well, who was supposed to be there? And I said, I don't know. Because originally Dickface was trying to get me to work a double every day this week in order to get coverage because he and his other Nepo manager were going to our sister location to cover their management. And so at this point, he's very quiet for a while. And he finally says, who else is on staff at your location this week? And I said, nobody. It is just me. I am literally the only manager that is currently scheduled to be at this facility for the entire week. For clarity, my boss's boss doesn't like me. So these pauses that he's having in the conversation are not due to sympathy. It's due to him realizing how fucking stupid this Nepo hire that they brought in actually is. So anyway, he's like, I need to call him and talk to him. Just do what you can, try to get things back in order, and we'll figure this out. That's the last I heard from any of them the entire week. Literally nothing. Literally nothing changed the entire week. Wednesday, I came in, nobody else had been there. Thursday, I came in, nobody else had been there. Friday, I came in, nobody else had been there. And so finally on Friday, I called my boss again. And I said, okay, what's going on here? I need some kind of direction because this entire place is falling apart. And he's like, I need you to pull a double tomorrow. I said, I'm not pulling a double. I told you this already at the beginning of the week. I am not going to work an 18-hour shift. I don't give a shit if it's the last day that I work before I go on PTO. I am not working a double. I don't know how more simply I can put that statement. I'm not working a double. I'm not working a double. I am not motherfucking working a double. Period. The end. No further discussion will be tolerated. Like, it's not going to happen. And so finally he's like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Today, we're going to have you close the facility early. And tomorrow I need you to open. And I said, okay, I can see what you're doing. Number one, what are you going to do with all the people that are here now that I now have to go in and tell them 3 days before Christmas that they're going to lose an entire shift because you're going to have us close early. So I'm basically going to tell half of our staff that they just don't get to work today. They don't get paid today because the boss is a fucking moron and didn't come up with a plan. And he's like, well, don't worry about that. We'll handle that. I was like, are you though? Because you said you were going to handle this whole situation and it still hasn't been handled. So, yeah, I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. That's going to be your problem, not mine. I said, okay, so if we're closing early so that I can come in and open tomorrow, then what's the plan for tomorrow? And he's like, I told you, I need you to work a double. And I'm like, I told you I'm not fucking going to. Get it through your fucking head. I am not going to work a double. No matter how much you want me to do this, I am not going to do it. And of course, he does the thing. Oh, well, if you don't do it, then I'm going to have to write you up. And I was like, do I need to get the recorder turned on again? It is literally illegal for you to fucking reprimand me for refusing to work overtime and work outside the bounds of my shift. Again, I cannot explain this in simpler English. I don't understand. So finally, after much discussion and back and forth and ring around the rosy and him just being stupid, he's like, okay, well, we're going to go with the plan. Close early. You're going to come in and open tomorrow. I'll get somebody else to close. And I stopped for a second. Because I know him. And he has a little bit of an ego problem. He doesn't like to give people what they want. And he doesn't like to admit that he's wrong. And so for him to just go from fighting it and stubbornly insisting that I do what he wants to suddenly just caving completely and admitting that something else is going to happen, there's a red flag in the back of my head. I'm like, no, that was too easy. That was too fucking easy. He would never just straight up admit that he was wrong. And so I thought about it for a second. And he was talking about something. I don't even remember what he was talking about. Like, I was completely ignoring him because I was like, I'm processing in my head, like, what is his game? What is he trying to do right now? King Bob says, that's why I'm not corporate. Exactly. This is why I left corporate, and this is why I hate my job. Anyway, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out what is it that he's trying to do, and it finally hit me, and I told him, I said, hey, Dickface. I didn't actually call him Dickface. I just call him Dickface for the purpose of the story. I said, hey, Dickface, I need you to understand because I know what you're trying to do right now. So if your plan is to get me to come in tomorrow and open and then not have somebody to cover for me in the evening so that you can then punish me for abandoning my shift when I go home at 3 because there was no manager on duty, I'm going to tell you why that's not going to work out the way that you think it is. And at this point, he's already stuttering but not saying anything of significance because I figured out what his plan was and he didn't know how to react. And he said, I said, what's going to happen is at 3 o'clock tomorrow, because my shift officially ends at 2:30. I said, at 3 o'clock tomorrow, if nobody is here to relieve me, I'm going to shut the entire facility down and send everybody home, just like I'm going to do tonight. And he's like, you can't do that. I said, yes, I can. Because if I'm the only manager on duty, it's at my discretion whether or not we keep the doors open. And to me, it's a security risk and it's a threat to our it's a threat to our inventory if I just walk out the door and leave people here. That's why abandoning your shift is considered a fireable offense. So I'm not going to do what you know or what you think I'm going to do, which is just drop the mic and walk out. I said I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do and shut the facility down, send everybody home, lock everything up, and make sure we're secure, and then I'm going to go home after that. Well, no, that's not, you don't get to make that decision. I said, then you need to come down here and you need to be in the building if you want to make decisions about what happens in the building. Because right now, as far as I'm concerned, I have been the only manager on duty in this facility the entire week. So if I have had to run this half-assed operation for an entire week, I don't think you get to tell me what I need to do tomorrow. I called you for guidance, and you've provided me with none. So I'm going to have to make an executive decision myself for the good of my own well-being and for the well-being of the company and its assets. So that's your call. I said, I have told you what my plan is. And of course, I have been recording all of this, by the way. I said, I have told you what my plan is. If you would like to schedule somebody else to be here tomorrow evening to close the facility, that's on you. That's 100% on you. You know what I'm going to do if you don't. So now the ball is in your court. And of course, I can tell he's angry, he's stuttering, he's tripping over himself. Well, we're going to talk more about this. I said, okay, we can have that discussion whenever you like. But again, you know what my plan is. All that's left is for you to come up with yours. And that was the end of the conversation. So yesterday, it's about 2:45. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, is this asshole really going to just leave me to lock everything up and try to say that it was my fault? And I hear a knock on the door. Because our office door is locked, so you can't just walk in. And I hear a knock on the door. And I open it up. And here's my boss. Red in the face, looking pissed off as a motherfucker. And I immediately pulled out my phone and hit record, and here I am taking a video of him, and I'm like, oh, hi, dickface, thanks for showing up to relieve me from my shift on this Saturday, December the 20th, so that I can go home now that my shift is over. And then I put my phone away, and I gave him the rundown. I gave him a pass down. I was like, here's what's going on, here's all this and that, and he's like, we need to talk. And I was like, what do we need to talk about? Well, I can't have this kind of insubordination. I was like, I'm not being insubordinate. If I was being insubordinate, I wouldn't have come in today. If I was being insubordinate, I would have already taken all of these conversations to HR. If I was being insubordinate, I would have told you to go fuck yourself 5 days ago like I should have. Instead, I came in and covered for your ass, wiped your ass, cleaned up your mess, and tried to keep this facility running for the past week when you had zero plan in place. I said, so if you want to try to hit me for insubordination, you go right the fuck ahead, because again, I think HR and my lawyer will strongly disagree. But if that's the track that you want to take, you go right ahead. And so at this point, he doesn't have anything to say. And I'm like, so is that it? Do you need anything else from me? Because if not, I've got 2 weeks of PTO to get to. And he was like, well, we're going to have a long talk with you and the rest of the team after the first of the year. And I was like, okay, fine. That's next year me's problem. Today, I don't care. And that was the end of the conversation, and I walked out with my head held high. And then, afterwards, I realized that I had forgotten my thermos. In fact, it is the thermos that I have sitting here on the desk right now. It's the thermos that I drink my water out of. And I forgot that I had left my thermos on the desk in the office, and so I very quickly went back inside. He was still in the office, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, forgot my thermos, and grabbed it and walked out. It wasn't intentional, but man, that moment. That was the best. So that's how my week went. And hopefully, after 40 minutes of explanation, you guys can understand why I am so happy to be here with the donkeys and to not be at my job. And how much I'm going to enjoy the next 2 weeks of not having to deal with any of that bullshit. It feels good, chat. It feels good. It feels so good. Anyway, aside from work nonsense, I figured you guys would get a kick out of that, because I need you to understand, chat, that it's that level of incompetence. It is that level of stupidity that I have to deal with every single day. And it is infuriating. It is absolutely infuriating that that's what that's what I have to deal with. That is my job. Anyway, chat, on to more positive news. Well, Reploid says I'd snap so hard. I've been tempted to, but again, I've said this before. I have been accused of having the patience of Job, but I have to remind people often that the whole point of the story of Job is that Job eventually ran out of patience. And I think people forget that a lot. But anyway, chat. To more positive things. I don't have a whole lot in the way of gaming news, of course. I'm breaking my neck over here as I look at my notebook. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about, of course, and I did mention this in the chat, I did mention this in the Discord, I'm gonna mention it again here in person as well. If you are not aware, chat, of the Black Pants Legion, of the BPL, then you owe it to yourself. Mr. Fix of the Black Pants Legion, and of course, the rest of the BPL themselves, have been doing some good work this holiday season. And specifically, they had their Crime for Christmas charity stream yesterday. Sadly, I missed that because I was busy with other things. Yeah, the Beeple people. Tix and some of the other members of the Legion were doing their Crime for Christmas stream last night. If you don't know what that is, every holiday season, they used to call it Meth for Kids. They have since cleaned it up a little bit, and they call it Crime for Christmas. But they played Payday 2, an exceptionally old game, and they do it for charity. This year, they were doing it for St. Jude's. And over the course of the stream, they raised over $25,000 in a 3-hour stream. Of course, that charity drive will be going on for the rest of the year. It is meant to help the kids and St. Jude's. So I highly encourage you guys, if you have not already, go watch the Crime for Christmas stream, or just have it running in the background so that way you feed the algorithm. The amount of $69 donations was nice. Yes, it was indeed. Unfortunately, like I said, I missed the live portion of the stream, but I will tell you this. I already donated, and I'm not going to tell you how much, but I have already made a donation to St. Jude's on behalf of the Cult of Bad Tactical Decisions, for the Crime for Christmas stream. That is one thing that I have been doing with all of the money that you guys generously give me all the time. And I do also intend to make another donation on behalf of the Cult of Bad Tactical Decisions on Christmas, when, if you are not aware, if you have not heard the news, Tex did mention it during the Crimbus stream, that they are planning to release Tex Talks Battletech Black Knight on Christmas this year. Now, maybe they're not gonna get it. Maybe it'll be a little early, might be a little bit late, but just FYI, that according to Tex, and this is coming from the man himself, they are planning to try to release the Black Knight video on Christmas. And according to him, they've been working on it for 15 months or more. Over a year they've been working on this video. And he says it's, in his opinion at least, it's the best video that they have produced so far. So look forward to that. Also, again, like I said, when the Black Knight video premieres, I will be making another contribution to St. Jude's, courtesy of the Cult of Bad Tactical Decisions. Because I don't think that this community could reach those kind of numbers. So personally, I would rather bandwagon on a larger donation. And again, I consider myself part of the BPL community. If you don't, then you just haven't spent enough time around them. Beeple is good people. And if you don't know who they are, you owe it to yourself to go check them out. Mr. Tex is an outstanding human being, in spite of how he constantly tries to deny that. He is an outstanding human being, and he deserves your support. The Black Pants Legion deserves your support. And obviously, St. Jude's deserves your support. I'm not trying to guilt you into donating to charity, but give what you can, do what you can. Don't put yourself out, but again, do whatever you can to help folks out. That's the number one thing. So again, number one, self-proclaimed asshole. Yes, Mr. Tex loves to tell everybody he's an asshole, and he can be. He can be when he wants to be. But the difference between Tex being an asshole and assholes being assholes is that Tex is aware he's an asshole, and he is an asshole on purpose when it's appropriate. Whereas regular assholes are just assholes all the time, and both are unaware of and or unwilling to change that fact. So I would argue that Tex is the right kind of asshole because he's only an asshole when he needs to be. Are you in the Black Knight video? Not that I'm aware. He did not mention putting me in the video. So I don't think I'm in it, but you never know. You never know. I haven't officially recorded any lines, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't listening. But anyway, like I said, that's the first thing. That's the first thing. Obviously, the BPL, the Crimbus stream, the St. Jude's donation drive, anything you can do to support any of that, please do. Please do. Next up on my list, and again, it's a short list, chat. It's a short list. But next up on my list is Helldivers 2, which, again, if you have not opted into the beta branch of Helldivers 2 to increase your performance, strongly recommend that you do so. As someone who has opted into the beta branch and has experienced significant improvements in performance, if you've been waiting on Helldivers to get their shit together, the beta branch is the answer. The beta branch is, in fact, the answer. I did also finally this week, in between the multiple shifts that I was working, get an opportunity to play with the Python Commandos Warband, and have been enjoying it very much. I know that the community, at least, has been complaining a lot about the new assault rifle, saying it's not good and people don't like it, and like it's not the meta. But at the end of the day, I think it's great because it's basically just an assault rifle with a grenade pistol strapped to it. And I've heard some people complaining because you have to switch the fire mode and it's a little clunky, and I'm like, you can do that with hotkeys. Like, you can literally just have a hotkey on your keyboard to swap between the bullets and the grenades. with a single button press. I don't understand why that's difficult for people. But I love it because what it means now is that I get to carry a different sidearm instead of the grenade pistol. Because most people carry the grenade pistol all the time so that they can close bug holes and they can destroy fabricators and stuff like that. But like, now you can just have an assault rifle that's just got a grenade pistol attached to it. Now I have my sidearm free to do other stuff like use a hatchet or other things like that. So, like, to me, it's great. It's what I've been waiting for. And I really hope that they start making stuff like grenade launcher attachments, shotgun attachments, stuff like that. I hope that that's the beginning of them making that a standard feature for weapons instead of a single weapon system. Like, trust me, I would love to slap a grenade launcher on, for example, the sickle. The sickle is easily my favorite assault rifle, and I would love to put a grenade launcher on it, even though it makes no sense. And then, of course, I have not used the maxi gun yet, not to be confused with a minigun, because miniguns are for little tiny baby boys with little tiny baby penises. The maxi gun is for real freedom-spreading democracy lovers. I have not yet used the maxi gun other than the few times that somebody else was using it and died. But I have had the opportunity to use the chainsword. And, rip and tear. That's all I've got to say. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know how I feel about using a weapon slot, using a stratagem slot for a melee weapon. It's part of the reason that I never used the one true flag. But it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It's a little impractical, but I mean that's kind of the point, I feel. And it does in fact work very well against the bugs. So yeah, it's good times. It's good times. Again, if you haven't yet, I said last time around, but I'll say it again. I think we are in the We're So Back arc for Helldivers 2. Again, for those that don't know, Helldivers 2 goes through cycles of it's so over, we're so back. And I think we are firmly in a We're So Back segment of the Helldivers 2 timeline. It feels good. It plays well. I haven't had any crashes. Haven't had any sound bugs. Everything feels like it's working the way it's supposed to again. And that makes me happy because I do love Helldivers 2. And then as for gaming news, the only other thing I have, and this is going to be a little bit of a controversial topic, Erst on the Discord has already confined discussion of this nature to Scub. However, I have to talk about Larian because I mentioned them last time. I mentioned them on the last stream. I have to talk about Larian and their admitted use. Reploid asked, does Helldivers 2 have jetpacks? Yes, they have multiple types of jetpacks. But I have to talk about Larian and their admitted use of generative AI. And not for the reasons that you're thinking. Like, y'all already know my opinion on AI, especially where it comes to creative stuff. Like, when we're talking about writing or music or art, AI is the devil. It's fucking slop. It's garbage. And I'm absolutely sick to death of seeing corpos try to replace creatives with machines. Absolutely sick of it. I have said before, AI can be useful, but unfortunately, the assholes that run the world have chosen to use AI to quash creative endeavors, destroy human creativity, and try to monetize, commodify, and assembly line human creativity, instead of getting rid of all of the other soul-crushing bullshit that nobody wants to do. But I will say this of Larian. Right now, I trust them. And according to them, they're using it just in the concept stages. Now, when they say we're using it in the concept stages, my immediate counter to that is, hey, did you know that concept artists are a thing? I'm sure that you hired several of them at least during your work for Baldur's Gate 3. So you figured you would just put those fucking people out of business so that you could generate some garbage AI swap? Oh, okay. Great. So you've already lost some points there. With that being said, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt for now, but my guard is already up. Don't get me wrong, I want to see a new Divinity as much as everybody else does, and I'm excited to see what Larian does with it. But, again, my guard is up. And they're gonna have to tread very fucking carefully if they want my business. But even then, there's the part of me that's like, this is how it starts. This is how DLC started. This is how microtransactions became the bane that they fucking are today. The bane that basically ruined the video game market in the AAA space is because there were a couple of developers that everybody liked, making a product that everybody wanted, and they included it, and everybody was like, well, I don't like this, but I'm gonna allow it because I like the game and I like the company. And this is literally the exact same, well, it's not the exact same thing, but to quote fucking Mark Twain, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And here we are, 20 years later, in the exact same boat, with controversial bullshit being promoted by people who are probably gonna get away with it because people like the company and they like the game, and that's gonna open the door for fucking corpo assholes to start doing it at an industrial scale. At an industrial fucking scale. Because then the EAs and the Ubislops and the fucking Take-Twos of the world are gonna say, well, it was okay for Larian to use AI, why isn't it okay for us to do it? So, again, my guard is up. I've already boycotted GW this year. I would not be afraid to boycott Larian as well. So we'll see what they do. We will see what they do, but I'm not optimistic. I'm not optimistic. There was one story that I did see about it though, and I think it was, the irony is palpable that Larian's CEO, Sven, was complaining that they're having to do optimizations for the next game very early in development because there are RAM shortages. And if you know anything about the tech world, the reason that there are currently RAM shortages is because of the prevalence of generative AI being used in every goddamn thing. So you now have a company that has openly admitted that they're using generative AI, complaining that they're having to optimize their new game for systems that have less RAM because RAM is scarce because of generative AI. I'm just saying, this shit writes itself. And here we are, back in the Argo, back in the Inner Sphere, or more specifically, back in the Clan Occupation Zone, back over the world of Moritz in Clan Wolf Space, and ready to get our groove on. Linnea says, they keep throwing me into the locker room to pin a badge on me. I mean, I can't tell you how to stop that from happening other than to just say it's better if you just put the badge on yourself. It's still gonna hurt. The only ways to stop that is to wear a shirt, but shirts aren't required. Or alternately, take painkillers first, just not mushrooms. We've had problems with that in the past. And also not Norwal dicks. We've also had problems with that in the past. I don't know why. It's a weird company. I'm sorry. We don't put this in the job listing, I know, and so it's a little weird when you get here and then you hear all of this stuff. I mean, they only give us so many characters, and including all of the dumb shit that our people have done would just make that listing max out the character limits. You know, don't blame me. Blame Comstar. They're the ones that put the limit on the number of characters in the job listing. And the other Bob says, "Hey boss, can't stay long, but looking forward to some mech on mech action till I pass out." Well, I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can to try to keep you busy and try to keep you entertained while you try to get some sleep. But let's see, chat. We've got a couple of mechs in the work bay. I'm still out from my foray in battle armor. Vin also took some hits not too long ago, but he's recovering fine in the med bay. Of course, in terms of pilots, everybody is leveled up except for one. And I know they're in the chat because I saw him a little bit earlier. We got Arcos Ren, who is ready to start putting in their level 2 perk picks, but we didn't get a chance to do that last stream. So Arcos, if you're still out there in the chat, you got to decide between your level 2 piloting skill or level 2 tactics skill, whichever you prefer. And then, of course, aside from that, everybody else is leveled up, so we are ready to go. Newest pilots to add to the roster are Postal Trout. As you can clearly see, got his Zardos drip on. Very close to picking up his first level. And then, of course, we also added Wreck-It Carl not too long ago, who is also starting to work their way up the skill tree. The boss lady empties the character limit all on her own. I mean, it's kind of like No Nut November, but whenever I open my mouth, it's just words. Sean Connery, you are correct, Reploid. It is, in fact, Sean Connery. But not that one, as you can clearly see from the name. And, of course, in the mech bay, we have a little bit of work to do. And, unfortunately, last stream, I had to end things a little bit early because I went to the range with some friends for some pew-pew and to try out a Palmetto AK that I was thinking about buying. I did not make the purchase, but I was impressed. I was happy with my test drive. And of course, I didn't mention it, but we did have a good time at the range. Many a pew was had. But one of the things that we kind of had to leave for next time was rebuilding the trebuchet. If nobody notices off the factory guns, then there's no need to tell OSHA. I mean, let's look. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. There are two kinds of people that I hate more than all others when it comes to a manufacturing environment. And that's security people and quality people. And OSHA's kind of a combination of both because they're not quite security, they're not quite quality, they're safety, which again is somewhere in the middle. I hate those two classes of people and everything in between because, and anybody who's dealt with OSHA knows what I'm about to say is true, because every single person that gets hired to one of those types of jobs gets this incorrect assumption in their head that if they don't find problems, then they're going to lose their job. And unfortunately, that's not the way it works. And I've had to explain this, especially to quality people over the years. As someone in QA, it is not your job to find problems. It's to make sure that the product meets the customer spec. And I know that seems like the same thing, but it really isn't. depending on how that mentality is applied. Because there's a difference between I'm going to make sure it meets the customer's expectations versus I'm going to go in and nitpick absolutely everything because if I'm not finding problems, I am effectively useless. And security people are the same way. Like, it's never enough for them to just keep things secure. They have to find issues because they feel like if they don't, then they're going to lose their job. And I would argue in the modern day, they're not entirely wrong. Because greedy corpo assholes in their infinite pursuit of line go up will absolutely cut a security or quality department if there haven't been any security or quality issues. Because then they say, oh, well, everything's working perfectly. We don't need them anymore. So as much as I hate them for that mentality, I can also kind of understand it. And it's why my opinions on them have kind of softened in the last decade or so. But anyway, chat, back on topic. During our last engagement in the last stream, the Treb took a little bit of internal damage, and one of the things that we lost was the only clan ATM 6 that we had at the time. I don't currently have any replacement ATMs for it, and the design was kind of hinging on it. I mean, we do have an ATM 3, but it's not the same. So, I was thinking about this, chat. And I remember thinking to myself, number one, the Treb is a squishy boy. The Treb is a squishy boy. And part of the reason that this mech and Dragon Master who is piloting it have been getting beaten up so much lately is because the Treb is just not meant to take damage. And I was thinking about ways that we could fix that. Part of the reason that this design works is we have a 300 core in a 50-ton mech, which makes it a very speedy boy at 6'9". Nice. But I had an idea. And that idea involves removing the missiles, because if there's one thing that we do very well here, it's weapons-grade heresy. And I think you might know where I'm going with this, chat. You might have an idea. And Dizzy Buttons are into the chat on a Sunday. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Says, long time no see. It has indeed been a hot minute, Dizzy. But thanks for dropping by. We're always glad to have you. Hopefully you've been doing well in the time where you weren't here. Don't know where you've been or what you've been doing, but hopefully it was good wherever you were. And of course, welcome back to the Inner Sphere, where we're about to get into some weapons-grade mech bay heresy. Oh, well, and there you go. Swift Draw wasted no time to give the sub to Dizzy Buttons, reconscripted him back into the cult of anti-feudal decisions. Thank you, Swift Draw, for yet another gifted sub. And Dizzy, welcome back in to the cult, where I'm sure they kept your seat warm for you. Says, new job ate up all my time. Yeah, that'll happen. That will indeed happen. But again, glad that you're able to join us once again for some hot mech on mech action. But anyway, Chad, let me see, because here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, or here's what I want to try to do. I'm gonna use the energy slots, but I'm not just gonna do that, because here's the thing: our heat efficiency just went out the window. We have a double heatsink kit, but that's okay, because here's my idea, Chad. If the Treb is squishy, we just make it not squishy. Give it heavy armor plating. Now it has more armor. In fact, it has 20% more armor. But we're not done yet. We aren't done yet. Because we have energy hardpoints in both arms, and I absolutely intend to use them. So let me see. I'm debating on whether to use the clan or the inner sphere medium, and I feel like I'm leaning towards the clan medium. And our heat efficiency is still good. We're at -6. So this is where things are going to get interesting. This one of them pirate tribs? I mean, it's basically gonna be by the time I'm done with it. The trench bucket is supposed to throw a missile, which is why it's squishy. No, I get that, Dizzy. But once again, this is the cult of bad tactical decisions. Light PPC, heavy large laser for the left arm. See, Erst is my kind of people. Erst knows what's up. Unfortunately, that sends our heat efficiency out the fucking window. Maybe. I mean, that's 80 damage for a 4-ton weapon system. We could get rid of the probe, which almost gets us where we need to be. Chad, do we make this thing a death trap and put an XL engine in it? Actually, hold on, let me see. Do I have... And oh, we still have a laser insulator, Chad. Let's see. If we put in an inner sphere, I mean, that'd be... Oh, I didn't even think about this. Because it's a 300 engine, it's a massive engine for a 50-ton mech. By using the XL, we increase our weight savings by a huge amount. I mean, look at this. We get like 8.5 tons with an XL engine. Can we up the armor? No. The armor's already maxed. I have put heavy armor plating, which gives us 20% more armor. 2E heat sinks? Do we have any of those? I've got an E1. But that still adds weight. That's the problem. Like, the issue is not critical slots. The issue is weight. Let me see. If we were to drop a little bit of weight. And maybe take off some back armor? Oh, Chad. Hold on. Hold on. We can min-max this. Let me do this. And do that. There we go. Needs the XL, otherwise too hot. I mean, it's only too hot when we fire the large laser. Because it's a large, heavy laser. Who is this again? This is Dragon Master. Yeah, this is Dragon Master. Who has been a missile boy for pretty much the entire game. I have not seen them in chat. But I suspect, whether they're here or not, they would probably prefer to live long enough to upgrade to something that isn't a trebuchet. What if XL plus hardened? Okay, hold on. Now that's not a bad idea. If we drop in hardened armor, and then we put in an XL engine. Oh, Chad, it's so very close. But then we lose... Okay, here. We'll take out the heavy laser. Here's what we'll do, Chad. So large heavy laser does 80 damage, but it generates 54 heat. If we were, for example, gonna put in an ERPPC, a clan ERPPC, we're doing 75 damage for 48 heat. We could just go with an inner sphere ERPPC for 60 damage and 35 heat. That's much more manageable. PPC shut. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, PPCs are a lot heavier. So maybe what else can we do? What else can we do? I mean, maybe we upgrade to heavy mediums? Because the thing is, like, we're gaining 20 damage, but we're only spending an additional, what, 3 heat per shot? Like, the weight is the same. We just... You see what I mean? And then we can be like, do I have an FCS? I don't think I did, but let me see. Oh, we do. So we can throw on an FCS to increase the accuracy just a little bit. We've got hardened armor. We have an XL engine. So if you don't know, hardened armor increases the armor by 2. So it basically doubles the armor. The only problem is it's going to slow the mech down a little bit. So even though this, yeah, it's only going to slow down our walk speed, we'll still be able to sprint at 9. Heavy mediums have bad accuracy. Okay, fine. If we don't like the heavy medium, then let's just put in a regular medium then. Maybe. I feel like this is the platform for the ERPPC shotgun, though. I just can't figure out how to do it. Unless we just drop the medium lasers, but then this is a treb that only has one weapon system. I'm not 100% against that. Smaller core? Absolutely not. All right, let's do this. Hold on, Chet. Hold on. So this is what we're working with as of this moment, right? We have 7 tons of weapon space. This thing has got double its armor. So massive durability. It normally has 1,000 armor. We're going to have 2,000 armor on this mech. What do we do with 7 tons? And I feel like the answer is just lasers. As boring as laser boat is as an answer, I feel like it's the right answer in this case. I mean, we could do light PPCs, but in my opinion, they're not worth it. Like, if I was gonna do that, I'd just do large lasers. ER large, still 5 tons, 45. If we go with, do we have a clan large? We don't. We get a clan large pulse, but that's a very heavy boy. 30 heat? I mean, maybe? No, too much. Too much tonnage. Haywire laser. Well, the haywire laser doesn't actually do that much damage. It just does a little bit of heat damage. Like, haywire lasers are actually not that great unless you stack them. And this thing weighs 5 tons, so we can only put in 1. You have a clan heavy large. Oh no, I know. We have a clan heavy large. The only problem is, if I put in a clan heavy large, then we're already sitting at -6. If I add more lasers, then I don't have enough room for heat sinks. 4 medium clan pulse and pulse support weapons, we could do that. I mean, it's gonna be at close range anyway. Do we really need the extra accuracy? Let's see. Where are my... Okay, there's my medium pulse lasers. I don't think we're gonna have enough room. Okay, so we're a little bit over, but we're only 8 over on the heat. But hey, here's the thing, chat. And this is why I don't like this. This is why I don't like this. We already have the Ben Richards, which is a 35-ton Spectre with stealth. It sprints at like 12 hexes. And it has 3 clan medium pulse lasers. So I have a mech that's almost half the weight of this one, that is faster, more mobile, and does equivalent damage. We're gonna figure this out, chat. We're gonna figure this out. I want my heavy mediums. Maybe we do this. Heavy mediums, heavy large. Accuracy is gonna be absolutely dog shit. 36. So then, if we put in the laser insulator, decreases weapons heat generation by only 5. So it's not super useful because this thing's generating 50 heat. Like, it's a lot of raw damage. I just don't think we get a whole lot out of it. That being said, if we're just looking at the raw damage, your medium clan pulse lasers are doing 35 each. If I put 4 of those in, that's 70 and 70, which is 140 damage. If we just do the medium heavies, which I can't because we don't have enough medium heavies, we're doing almost the same amount of damage. Yeah, 7 tons of weapon space. I guess, okay, so we do have some support weapons slats, so I'll go ahead and put ER smalls in there to give us the maximum range. And then that leaves us with 4 tons to play with. Now, currently, this design is sitting at 0 heat. It is 100% heat neutral. So I could potentially say, give me a double heat sink, and then that gives us 6 heat to play with. And I've got 2 more tons, so then maybe we just throw in some Frank's Red Hot for a little bit of bonus damage. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. All right, hold on. Internals. Give me another double heat sink. I mean, that's only 8 over. I put in 2 AMS. Do we have 2 AMS to do that? Okay, I have the AMS. Do I have the ammo? I do. Maybe AMS instead of small lasers, chat? Because we get laser AMS, and we've got regular AMS. So I could just AMS, AMS. Now, we're sitting at -4. I drop a heat sink. Now that puts us at +2. I mean, that's close enough to heat neutral that it doesn't bother me that much. And then we go for ammo? Or is it better to just use the laser AMS? Because with the laser, like, what is the benefit of the regular AMS over the laser? Let's see, 40% chance on the AMS. I'm sorry, hold on. Intercept chance is only 25%. Laser AMS is 30%. Clan AMS is 50%. And Wreck-It Carl roll into the chat on a Sunday. Good to see you, Carl. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully the week has been treating you well. And Vio resubscribing at tier 3, chat, for 20 whole ass months. Almost ringing in that 2-year anniversary at a 5-to-1 sub ratio, chat. Get some green juice in the chat for Vio for that tier 3 sub for 20 months. Jesus Christ, Vio. Get a job. Or a hobby. Or something. Alright, hold on. Let me do this. We'll do this. Do that. And then the laser AMS is 1.5 tons. Butt cheeks. She had the most violent and immediate food poisoning after eating KFC. Never again. I mean, I've had that too with other restaurants, and like, you get food poisoning and then you tell yourself never again, and then like a year later, you'll have that moment where you're like, why did I stop eating at this place again? And it happens all over again. For me, that restaurant is Taco Bell. It's the place that I always tell myself I'm never going back to. And then I'll have that lapse in judgment. I can't remember why I stopped going back. And then I remember the hard way. I mean, if we do this, we get the clan AMS. Like, I like the clan AMS because 50% chance to intercept. So, how about this? We do that. We put in 1 ton of ammo. I'll even put it in the head because now, ammo goes in the feet, chat. Ammo goes in the feet. And then, I mean, we got a half bin of ammo, so maybe put in another half bin. So we got a bin and a half of ammo for 1 clan AMS? Is that better than 2 systems? Like, statistically, because I don't know how the AMS is calculated. Is it like... So, for example, if the regular AMS is 25% chance to intercept, and the clan AMS is 50% chance to intercept, if I put 2 Intersphere systems in, does that mean that we now have a 50% chance? Like, is it cumulative? Or is it that we're rolling twice at 25%? Because I would argue that 50% is better than 2 25%, because statistically your 25% is less likely to proc even if you roll it twice. Isn't Clan XL even lighter? It is by Q, but I'm going to show you why we don't do Clan XL and Intersphere Mechs. Notice the price and the time? Now notice the price and the time. And that is why we do not use Clan XL engines in Intersphere Mechs unless it is absolutely essential. Two times 50 should give 50% intercept in theory, or 75. It's fewer shots. Oh, fewer slots. 2 roll. See, this is what I mean. This is why I'm confused, because like I don't know how BTA handles the intercept chance. I don't know if it's cumulative or if it's separate. Like, does it take 2 rolls? Because it's a single mech. So does each AMS system roll independently, or does it just accumulate? Don't know if it counts what's been intercepted. Well, see, then that's a whole different can of worms, because then it's like, okay, if it doesn't count what's intercepted, is it then possible for both systems to intercept the same missile, in which case you're wasting ammo on nothing? Because honestly, I would rather have 1 system at 50% with some extra ammo than 2 systems at 25%. Well, I know physically it can't intercept the same missile. I'm not asking if it can intercept the same missile. I'm asking, does it try to roll on the same missile? Like, somebody who's better at game theory, explain this to me. Like, is 225 for... And I don't want, like, opinions, right? Like, not what you think. I want somebody to explain this to me in game theory terms. Like, is it better to have 225 rolls or a single 50 roll? Like, is a coin flip better than 2 double coin flips? Because that's essentially what it is. Right, no, I know it's 2d4 versus 1d2. My question is, how often do you get the intercept? 56% versus 50? Can somebody confirm that math? Earth is also coming up with 56.25%. Well, I mean, I know it depends. But again, this is why I'm asking the game theorists. 225 rolls is only 43% according to some people. Well, according to Thasidon, or Thasidon, says 43% for 225 rolls. See, that's, like, to me, that makes more sense. That 225 rolls statistically has a lower chance of rolling the correct number. But again, I'm not an expert. My brain doesn't math. No, it's not 25% chance to miss. It's a 25% chance to hit. The intercept chance on regular AMS is 25%. In other words, it only intercepts 25% of the time. Again, Hyena Boy, that's kind of my problem, is it's like, I know in my head, like, statistically which would be better, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how they handle the rolls. Almost 2 hours, no mission. Correct. I'm glad that we understand each other, Austin. How about this, chat? I know how to solve this conundrum. Do you know what the answer is? The answer is more DACA. See, I was looking at this all wrong. I was looking at it statistically, mathematically. The correct answer is more DACA. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with more DACA. Plus, I'm including the clan AMS as well, so we still get that 50%, and then I'm filling in with an inner sphere AMS. So it's the best of both worlds until we get another clan AMS. Sell the mech. Look, I'm not gonna lie, there was a part of me before the stream, I was like, so I was looking at the game yesterday to just kind of refresh myself of what was going on last week, and I was like, would it be better to sell the Treb and just build another Stormcrow? Because we have another Stormcrow in storage. It has, like, would it be better to just get rid of the Treb and get another Stormcrow? But then I remembered that I am a proud daughter of the Inner Sphere, even if we are way down south in Boondocks territory, and I'm gonna take good old-fashioned Inner Sphere tech over that clanner garbage any day of the week. So there you have it, chat. That's what we're going with. And Yathalin re-priming for a 9th month, saying, fun fact, I've never had Ecto Cooler. Then I'm curious how you've managed to survive 9 months in this company without dying of dehydration. Are you drinking water from the toilet? Because I hate to tell you, But that's not water. It's probably best not to ask. Anyway, chat, we now have a work order in. And at fucking 2 hours into the stream, with the promised Mech Bay heresy out of the way, it is time to get into an actual mission. It is time to fire shots in anger. However, I am going to fast forward 2 days to get these 2 mechs back in working order. And then we'll hit the command center to see what we can do.
Okay.
Oh, right. I forgot about Blood Feud. I forgot about the Blood Feud. And Crew Carve resubscribing for a 24th month, finally picking up that fancy 2-year badge. Thank you, Crew Card, for 2 whole ass years in the cult of bad tactical decisions. Says Woot, 2 years. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Again, thank you for 2 years, Crew Card. Don't know how it's come to this, but good lord, we've been here for over 2 years now. How did that happen? How did that happen? Anyway, what do we got? So, we got a destroy base, a defend base, and a destroy base. Destroy base with 4 picks for Rosselhaig, and gonna be fighting against the clans because we're in clan space. I'm good with that. Let's destroy a clan Karen base for the Space Vikings. And we'll take max salvage because, of course, that's what you do. And I don't remember what our setup was, but I do remember that I got the shit blasted out of me last time, so we're gonna have to fill in that hole with somebody else. Dragon Master is without mech, so he's gonna have to sit this one out. Let me see. So we got 2 slots. I don't know how much free tonnage. I mean, I know what this says, but I don't know how much free tonnage we actually have. Well, nope, never mind. I can't put it. I was gonna put Ven and the Warhawk in, but we can't do that. So let's see about the Orion. Can we do the Orion? We can. And we could put Megas in the Orion. Do we have enough for the vehicle? Can we put in Bob? We cannot put in Bob. Let me see. Could we potentially put in the Firestarter? We cannot, in fact, put in the Firestarter. All right, well then I think we've got our Lance here, chat. I think we have our Lance. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Now, Mythion's pretty good. I was thinking about putting in Mythion because we haven't put them in a little bit, but I realize how like high their skills are, so I'm like, let's try to get some skills on some other folks first. Gotta get those rookies trained up. Just look at it like this, Bob. You're still getting paid, which means you're getting paid to do nothing. You're getting paid to not get shot at. It's hard to argue with that kind of business. Yeah, let's make it hot, chat. You and Crappy both are getting paid to not die. Imagine that. Imagine all like your boss was just like, "Hey, guess what? Not only do you not have to work today, but I'm still going to pay you and you get to watch your coworkers get shot at." I disagree, the other Bob. I disagree. I mean, there are certainly some people on the roster that like getting shot at, but I would imagine that not all of them do. Oh, Thassadon, there is in fact an Irby with an artillery hardpoint. Ask me how I know. Some of you are going to get that, and some of you have not been around long enough to get that. Go watch the previous series. I promise you won't have to get very far into it. Let's see. We haven't asked the Darius of the Pool for his wisdom lately. Let's see. Commander, in my experience, merchants will defend their profits with extreme prejudice. You don't say. Expect a hostile response as soon as you kick down the door. I mean, Darius, I don't know if you know this. The merchant caste in Clan Wolf isn't all that important as far as they are concerned. And more importantly, a lot of them did not come to the Inner Sphere during the invasion. Alright, chat, here we go. Now let's see what kind of a shit show Darius dropped us into this time. Oh, okay, well there's some battle armor on the field, because that's the only way anything is going on Initiative 10. We have an ECM suite on an ATM LRM carrier. I would take some ATM 12s. We got another 60-ton vehicle, so could be potentially the same thing. We got a 40-ton mech. That's maybe a Cougar. Maybe an Ice Ferret, something like that. Another 40-ton mech without battle armor. And then, oh my goodness, we have all the turrets. All the turrets. Now remember, clan stars are always in groups of 5. I currently only see 4. I see 2 vehicles and 2 mechs. I don't think the battle armor counts. So even if there's nothing else on the field, if there's no reinforcements or anything like that, we're still dealing with at least one more target out there somewhere. Now let's see what we get on the O. Oh my. Well, that needs to die quickly. Oh, no game audio. Good call out. Good call out. You should have your game audio now. My bad, chat. I promise, I've done this before. Let's see. Who's up first? CVEX, of course. The speediest of boys. The speediest of boys. I kind of want to charge him up here and try to take out the turrets. The only problem is, number 1, dual LBX turret. Number 2, I don't know what these other 3 turrets are, and I don't know what these 2 mechs are. And also, this guy has battle armor, so we might get grappled, and I don't want that to happen. So, instead, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to send CVEX around the side here to go pick on this, vehicle. Let's see. Okay, so this is, in fact, another ATM carrier. It's a Viper, because of course it's a fucking Viper. It's always a Viper. Standard sniper turret with just regular inner sphere PPCs, and shredder turret with an AC-2 and some SRMs. So I'm kind of glad I didn't charge CVEX at the turrets now, because that would have been bad news. But let's go ahead and start. We'll start bullying the vehicles. That's what we're here for. Oh right, spawn protection. I forgot. I really hate spawn protection.
Take this.
I wish there was a way to turn it off.
Systems recycling for another shot.
Is CVEX on every mission? I mean, occasionally we bring Vio as well, and sometimes we bring both. But CVEX and the Ben Richards are easily the best scout mech that we have. Bar none. Like, this man cannot be hit. Vio, on the other hand, is in a fire starter, which is less speedy, but much more durable, and it also hits a lot harder. So, like, we have 2 different types of scouts.
Good to go.
I have toyed with, on multiple occasions, either building another Spectre or rebuilding the Raven that we have. Because I feel like we're a little bit too reliant on the only 2 scout mechs that we have. So yeah, it's something that I have definitely considered. Let me see. Brewster with the finance destroying LRM carrier. I'm gonna put you over here behind the mountain. And we are gonna do some damage to... I don't know, what do I want to hit? I think I'm just gonna start focusing down the turrets. Because we can hit those without any problem. They don't get evasion. What if we tried to make Fire Moth actually good? I mean, theoretically, that's not a terrible idea.
Where are you, Commander?
But in practice, it means using a Fire Moth, which I am vehemently opposed to because I hate it. I absolutely hate the Fire Moth. Okay, that's not true. I hate the Fire Moth's derpy arms.
To the metal.
Let me see. Space heater. I mean, if you hit with everything, you could potentially completely destroy this turret. Let's give it a shot.
Firing everything I've got.
There we go. Turret down.
Gotcha.
Can we make an Owens work? We had an Owens. I don't remember if we still do. We actually got several Owens over the course of the beginning part of this campaign. I'm not against an Owens.
Standing by.
But I don't know if we have one anymore. Let's see. I'm gonna have Caffeinated Lemur jump back a little bit, and we will fling some LRM hate at more turrets. I don't know why my man's accuracy is so low, but if I had to choose between Shredder Turret and Sniper Turret, I choose Sniper Turret to die.
Attacking from position.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Yeah, they don't like Capsty. I think they're seeing Capsty as being the primary threat with all of those medium
Standing
lasers.
by.
Let's see. Postal Trout with the old Cheech and Chong. Can you get... Okay, you can get
No shooting, just running.
a shot at one of the turrets. And a couple of the buildings. I'm going to take a shot at the turret. Again, the turrets are pretty powerful.
Copy that.
Better to try to get rid of them now. Spawn's been a little odd for me the past few missions. Spawned all my guys on one end of the map and my LRM boat in the middle of the enemy base. Yeah, we've had that a couple of times. We've had that a couple of times where for some reason the game spawns one of our people way off in the middle of nowhere and often completely surrounded by the enemy. It's kind of weird, and I don't know why BTA does that from time to time. You know what? Hold on.
Affirmative, Commander.
Wreck-It Carl also has an AC-20, so I think it's time for some naval cannon on naval cannon action.
Accuracy through volume of 5.
Outstanding.
Enemy eliminated.
That's another turret down. They really don't like Capsty. They do not like that Nova at all. Okay. We figured out what our last component of the star is. It's a 75-ton vehicle way in the back.
I'm receiving you.
I'm not sure if that's where the missiles came from, but we're gonna find out.
Full throttle.
Let me see. Again, I think we'll just continue to focus down the turrets for now, just to get them off the field and not have to worry about it. Oh, never mind. You're gonna shoot Capsty in the back. Well, Capsty's already having a pretty bad time, so let's shoot at a different target then.
And here it
Well, somebody's got AMS. Looks like the Viper does.
Yeah.
Sarah Keck, another one of our Stormcrow pilots. Go ahead and sprint forward. And you got the Hag 30, so let's hit him with maximum DACA, but let me switch off of the mag pulse. And there we go. That's another turret down.
That turret.
Might have been the
is
last
gone.
turret. Yeah, it could have been. I wasn't really watching where the missiles came from, so... Could have been the turret, could have been the 75-ton vehicle that was flinging missiles
They've
at
got a
us.
sensor lock on me.
Yes, Commander.
Travis, same story. I'm gonna put you behind a hill. Because you are indirect fire supports. And you can only shoot at one target. That's okay. Give me AoE. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Give me one volley of Inferno and we'll just set the forest on fire.
Affirmative.
That'll force the carrier to move. Otherwise, he's gonna take fire damage. I mean, he's gonna take fire damage anyway, but oh my good Lord Jesus. That's a lot of fucking missiles.
I'm losing weapon systems.
I am aware, and there's nothing I can do about it right now.
Standing by.
Sweet Christ in heaven. Unfortunately, Wasteland is going to be kind of limited in where they can get
On the move.
and what
Full
they can
speed.
do from where they're at. We can only hit vehicles and the carrier. So screw it, we'll take a shot.
Locking target.
Well,
That got past my armor.
yeah, I'm aware that that's not great. We're just not off to a great start so far.
Come, Nerevar, friend or traitor, come.
Let us move the most heretical archer of all time because it has no missiles and just a bunch of large lasers.
What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
It is indeed grand and most especially intoxicating. Let's keep the heat down.
Omnipotent, omniscient, sovereign, immutable.
There we go. Structure exposed. Please don't destroy Capsty. Royal von Luckner. Alright. Fair enough. What are you packing? Oh, LBX 10s. Don't like that.
Yes, Commander.
Do not like that at all.
Moving lightning fast.
We do have eyes on the turret, and it's an LRM-30, so I guess I'll go ahead and take some shots at that, because mommy no like LRMs. Megas. Megas. There we go. Oh my goodness. My man. My man. Hitting both shots, doing massive damage.
Commander.
Arcos, my friend, what can you do for me? You got
Roger
nothing but indirect fire? I mean, part of me wants to take the shot at the turret, but I don't know if we'll be able to finish it off. On the other hand, we could take a shot at this hybrid carrier and maybe finish it off? I think we take the shot at the turret. I don't like turrets.
Target confirmed.
Ah. How much health left? How much health left? Oh, battle armor's on the move. Based on the fact that it's moving on the ground, I'm gonna assume that that's gnome battle armor. Yep. And we got how much health? About. The game is fucking with me. The game is fucking with me.
I hear you.
Alright, I see how it's gonna be. Let me see. How is... You know what? I know the answer to this question. I was asking myself, how can CVEX cause the most mayhem behind enemy lines? And I think it's right here. Where we get in behind this Viper and shoot him in the back. Very nice. I just need to move Capsty before they fucking blow up the mech. Please don't. Unfortunately, Capsty is initiative 6.
Yes, Commander.
So we're not... It's gonna be kind of tough to get Capsty moved before everything else goes to shit.
Going full throttle.
So let's focus down this carrier. If we can. Try to kill it before it has a chance to go.
Firing on target.
Okay, there we go.
That's a kill.
Please don't. I know what you're gonna do. Don't do it, motherfucker.
Hey, I lost a weapon.
Yep, I know. I would love to do something about that, but the game's not really letting me at the moment.
Ah! I took some shrapnel.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, Brewster, buddy, pal, friend. I want you to sideslip, and I want you to get on elevation.
I copy.
And now that you're on elevation, who's up next? We've got something else that's initiative 6. What is it? Oh, it's the fucking turret. Well, okay. It seems like a waste, but I'm gonna throw 20 LRMs at that turret to get rid of it.
Acknowledged.
The Karens hate the eternally smug cat girl. I believe it.
One less turret.
It is not today's. Today is not Capsty's day of fate, goddammit. We are not losing the smug cat girl, by God. One way or another. Alright. Who's initiative 5? Wait, we're in initiative 6. Oh shit, Capsty fell down, so now they're initiative 5. Son of a bitch. Okay, we're gonna have to focus down this ATM carrier.
Taking the shot.
We got several activations to do that. I'm just hoping that they're the right activations in the right place.
Ready to get it on.
4 more activations to get rid of this fucking ATM carrier. Circle the wagons, boys. Son of a bitch. Can't hit that guy. Why can't I hit that guy? Because you just said now, for some reason. I guess I'll take a shot at the Von Luckner then. God, 35% chance to hit though. I don't like that. Not that we got much better chances on anything else. Decent chances on the battle armor. Wasteland says, I've committed heresy in Red Dead Online. I put a scope on a Krag Jorgensen. Is that like putting a scope on a Martini Henry? Because a lot of people did that in Battlefield 1.
Fire.
That's a oof. That's an official oof.
No joy. Yup.
Alright, Carl. It's probably not smart, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Copy that, Commander.
Get in here and fuck this dude up. As a matter of fact, Battlelord and fuck this dude up.
Locking off. All weapon systems.
There we go.
Bye-bye. Standing by.
Okay, 2 more activations. Centurion that has missing some rear armor because somebody, I'm not gonna say who, shot him in the back with a Gauss rifle.
Got it, Commander.
Because accidents happen, apparently.
All weapons are go.
Wait, who said stop this heresy? CM Fool, you are absolutely living up to your name, my friend. Did you forget where you are? This is the cult of bad tactical decisions where the only things on the menu are Ecto Cooler and motherfucking heresy.
All weapons fire.
Did not get the kill, but we did get some mag pulse on him. Okay, we got 5 more activations. Pilot is bleeding out. Wonderful. Did you lose a leg? You did not lose a leg, but you did get knocked down. So, Capsy, if you don't mind, go ahead and stand up for me. And because you haven't lost a leg, I'm going to take the risk of jumping you into the rear line.
Affirmative.
Okay, you did not fall down, which is good. I'm not going to try to shoot through a friendly, I'm just going to have you brace.
Commander.
Travis, give me Battlelord, please, and we are going to hit this vehicle. This vehicle. Hit the vehicle. Okay, you can't. You need to move. Alright, so let's move now. There we go.
Copy that.
And then fire at the vehicle, please. There you go.
Firing a full salvo.
Isn't Catgirl bleeding? Yes. I'm hoping to have this mission done before they bleed out. But I still needed to get them out of the line of fire.
I live to serve.
Good. Because that's what we're gonna need. I think it's time we start working over these Vipers. Because I'm pretty sure that, that our mans can keep him busy. So yeah, let's start working these guys over. Because we need to stop them from chasing Capsty into the rear line.
Locked and loaded. Here it
I
comes.
really needed you to hit with that Gauss rifle, Wasteland. What are you doing? You had 69% chance to hit. Why did you let sex number fail? How the fuck can you even see that guy? Who has visual on Brewster? I genuinely want to know. It's got to be one of the Vipers.
Come, Nerevar, friend or traitor, come.
Let's see. Alright. We could potentially just blast this vehicle into oblivion. We could also blast the battle armor. I'm kind of tempted to do that because 5 lasers could potentially get us 5 kills.
All will be decided here and I shall prevail.
Okay, that wasn't enough. I'm disappointed.
You have orders?
Megas, you're up next. Let's get in close.
Have
Or
no doubt it will be done.
as close as you can in an Orion. And we'll take a shot at... I mean, good lord, your accuracy is terrible for this guy only having 3 evasion. Why, though? Why, though?
Okay.
This is getting tiresome.
Why, though? It's Swiftdraw. Gifted a sub to CM Fool. Thank you, Swiftdraw, for yet another gifted sub. And CM Fool, welcome back into the cult as bad. Of bad. Not as bad. Of bad. Tactical decisions. He didn't just hit you. He hit you in the back with a plasma rifle.
How's it going?
As misses go, that one was pretty bad. There's a lot of fucking friendly fire going on this mission, and it's making me unhappy.
Acknowledged.
Okay, we did get an armor breach on the Viper. That's good.
Let's get fired up! There's work to do!
Battle armor still doing battle armor things. The Gauss rifles from the battle armor looks worse than it actually is.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Let's see. CVEX. We're going to charge in from the side, and we're gonna smack this dude in the side with some pulse lasers. I don't care if we
All
overheat.
weapons are go.
There we go. Give me some
There's
crits.
more where that came
Outstanding. Outstanding. Now they're bleeding out too. Suck it, nerd. Oh, you'd have made a mistake, my friend. You just got... Oh. Well, that would explain what was on his mind. He basically just went in, shot point blank at Erst, and then ejected. I was gonna say, if you want to get point blank with Erst in a fucking Archer, be my guest.
Waiting for orders.
And then he decided maybe that wasn't the best idea. Well, guess what time it is, loser? It's time to get meleeed like a bitch. I hope you're ready. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna punch you because I want the extra stability damage. Oh, alright. I mean, that's an effective punish.
Armor breach.
I don't know if it's
Total
going to be
damage.
effective enough, but it's an effective punish.
Commander.
Brewster, I wish I could get you down from that hill, but I can't now, so you're just going to have to stay where you're at. I'm going to put you in the trees
No shooting.
for a
Just
little bit of
running.
cover, but it's not going to be all that useful. I think what I'll do instead is let you fire some direct fire with that Artemis bonus at this Viper, because he has balls of steel, and we need to show him what we do for people with balls of steel.
Copy that. Inflicted some heavy damage.
Oh, don't worry. The fun's not over yet.
Commander?
Capsty, you are still bleeding out. So what I'm gonna need you to do is first aid yourself so that you don't die.
Waiting for orders.
Caffeinated Lemur, go ahead and give me target protection, and then give me some missiles on target. And because we've been having a lot of friendly fire this mission for some stupid reason, please try not to shoot the Centurion in the back if that's okay.
Firing.
Alright, there goes the leg.
That hit something good.
Have fun on the ground, loser. He's not having a good time.
Got something you want done?
He is not having a good time.
Confirmed.
That's good, because I don't want him having a good time. Fuck him.
All weapons are go.
There we go. That's a double hit with the Blazer Crab. You love to see it.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Let's see, Carl. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm instead going to say, do this,
I'm rolling.
and then do this.
Firing.
Alright, one less
Hell
vehicle
yeah.
in the world.
Getting on now. I'm receiving you.
Serini, if you would please, explain to this clanner, in intricate detail,
Move order received.
how much we respect his honor.
Scratch another target.
Oh, hell yes. Reporting enemy battle mech down.
Alright, so we've got some battle armor, but we technically don't have to kill it.
Orders.
I'm absolutely going to. We just don't have to.
Position confirmed.
But I want to.
Nice. Got past his armor.
After that, we just gotta destroy a couple of buildings, and it's mission accomplished. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I'm gonna have Travis doing. Is blasting some of these buildings. Just please not to please try not to blue on blue. We've had a lot of that.
I'm reading heavy damage to an enemy structure. Bring it down.
Okay, there was a little blue on blue. I'm just gonna call that
I'm losing armor
shrapnel.
bad.
It's fine.
I'm your spaniel.
Let's see. You know what? This is a perfect opportunity for Wasteland to do something he doesn't often get to do. And that's use the flamers. So by all means.
Hot damn, we're gonna do this right. That's a kill.
Can I punch a building? If you can get close enough, you can. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure if mechs can
Come,
actually melee
Nerevar,
buildings.
friend or traitor, come.
I don't think he can. Or at least it's not giving me the option to let you punch a building. So, you'll have to settle for just shooting the building.
Coordinates received.
I shall overthrow the mongrel dogs of the Empire.
Good shot, Commander. Enemy structure down.
I mean, you would think that if you could melee a building, you could absolutely, probably one-time that shit.
What's the plan?
I can't imagine a world in which a 70-ton war machine blasting through a building with its fist is gonna leave a whole lot left standing. Give me the Inferno. As a matter of fact, give me the Acid as well, even though... Well, no, because Acid only works against armor, so...
Target confirmed.
It's time to
There we
log
go.
out. Get to the LZ for extraction.
Mission successful.
And that's a successful mission. Took some hard knocks on that one, though, including Capsty, who was bleeding out there for a minute. I mean, at least in MechWarrior 5, they let you just walk into the buildings to damage them instead of having to shoot them. Let's see. Only spent 75k on ammo this time around. Impressive. Alright, let's see. Capsty is out for 19 days. We're definitely gonna have to do some work on the Nova. Zombie Wolf looks like they only took a little internal damage. Nothing was destroyed. So they'll be fine. Centurion, same story. Just took a little bit of internal damage, but no injuries. And everything else appears to be in good shape. So definitely could have been worse. Could have been worse. Alright, let's see what we get. Oh, we got some clan AMSs. I'm very tempted to take those since we were just having a discussion about AMSs. We can get 2 for 1 slot. And I might actually do that considering that the only other thing... I mean, we could get a full Viper off the field because we have 3 parts from the Prime and then we have 1 part from the B. Do we have any other Viper parts in storage? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, we don't have any Viper parts. Megas says he's gonna be doing Final Fantasy 14 raids with the crew. Well, you'll be alright, Megas. I promise we're not gonna let you die. Why did it fail to send Twitch? I was saying it's quite impressive. The amount is not 150 like usual. I don't know, Bob. But, I mean, it didn't say your message was deleted. It just didn't send it for whatever reason. Yeah, Twitch is butt cheeks. We've discussed this many times in the past. Anyway, chat, what do you think? We got a couple options here. We can, because we're gonna get picks no matter what we do, right? I feel like there's some really good equipment here. Like, we could take the clan AMS. That's 2 AMS systems for 1 slot. We've got this, the clan ATMs. I can get 3 of these launchers for a single slot. We got 3 LBXs. Like 3 AC-10 LBXs for a single slot. We've got 2 clan LRM-20s for a single slot. Like, there's some really good stuff here. Or we could just do the basic bitch thing and take a Viper. Like, we can get full salvage on a Viper. But we can get so much good equipment out of this, too. Let's see. Here, these are the things that I absolutely want. I really want the clan AMS. 3 ATM launchers for a single slot and 3 LBX-10s for a single slot just seems too good to pass up. We can also get like 3 bins of ATM ammo each for a single slot. Again, this is so good. It's so fucking good. I also want to take the XL, the Clan XL, so that I could potentially sell that, or the 320 core, because we're getting into the point where we're going to need more 300 cores. I feel like, chat, bear with me, I feel like we take the ATM ammo because we're taking the launchers. And don't forget, we're still gonna get 15 other random picks. So, like, we could still get other good stuff as well. Alright, which is gonna be the better? We have the ATM ammo. Just 60 ammo for 150 C-bills a shot. We got the ER, which gives us extra range, but does less damage. Basically, almost effectively doubles the range, but decreases the damage. And then we have HE, which essentially turns them into SRMs, but we get significantly increased damage. Same amount of ammo per bin. Yeah, I feel like the HE is worth it. Somebody said we already have a bunch of LBX-10s, so maybe it's not worth it. Let's see. Oh, shit, you're right. Okay, well, no, that's not a bad point. That's not a bad point. We already have 6 LBX-10s in the cargo hold. Getting 3 for the price of 1 is a good deal. But is there, like, again, there's the Clan ERPPC, there's some Clan Pharaoh that we could grab. We could grab the XL, we could grab the 320. So do we really want to take the LBXs, or is there something else that we want to grab instead? 2 Clan LRM20s for a single slot is also not a bad deal. Grab the core or the XL. Yeah, that's the direction I'm leaning. If I grab the XL, it'll be to sell it. If I grab the core, it'll be so we can use it. We don't have a lot of 300 size cores, so I think I'm going to take the engine core. Well, it says we already have a 320. I'm going to grab it anyway. Alright, let's see what RNGesus decides to give us after the rest. Alright, let's see. We got a gnome part. We got a viper part. We got flamer. We got HMG. Get that shit out of here. We still got the LBXs anyway. We picked up a clan tag. We got LRMs, including the double slot. And we got the XL plus the Pharaoh. Man, look at this. The game is doling out for us. That is some damn good. We got the AMS ammo, we got the Clan Pharaoh, we got the Clan XL, we got more ATM ammo. You know, if RNGesus is gonna be that generous this early in the stream, I fear for how the rest of this is gonna go. I absolutely fear for how the rest of this day is gonna go.